Ugh, Lorraine. What that idiot Nash sees in the front of a Za beats me.
Haven't you heard, Meena? Love is blind. And if you ask me, she's even wearing falsies.
Shut up, you ass. Not so loud. Someone will hear you.
Who? That crowd? They won't be paying any attention to us. All they're interested is in the size of a girl's.
Why, here come old Johnny and Rafi, all tricked out in their Sunday best.
Well, what do we have here, Rafi, my boy? Well, if it ain't our two old friends, Meena and Lorraine, up to their antics of gossiping, all about all and sundry, with an expression of holy innocence on their faces.
And I bet you 20 to 1. They had paused to conjure on some more devastating adjectives from the jagged thesaurus of their dark minds.
Or maybe, Rafi, they were discussing about the attractiveness of the sexpert you. Well, ladies, if you're real nice and on bended knee before the master, he might give you some tips from his repertoire of many sex experiences and sexploits that might do you some good in your desperate quest for relationships.
Have you honestly seen your faces in the mirror? You know what it reminds me of? The textbook definition of ugliness. Don't go jumping to false conclusions. We have better things to talk about.
Johnny, my boy, I suggest that we head elsewhere to jump to conclusions or whatsoever and leave pleasant company to stew in their soup.
Now that's talking, Rafi, old pal. A nice beer would be preferable any day to the company of these desultorous dames.
Don't act so funny, Jonathan de Cruz. For 2 pints, I'd scratch your eyes out.
Ignore them, Lorraine. Why you bother to react to their nonsense is beyond me. You know how they are. Let it just be water off a duck's back.
Come, Meena. Let's get hold of some grub.
I suppose it'll be safe to leave our things here?
Sure, everyone's doing that. Besides, there's only one person, who's not of our social class, who might just fancy his cotton-picking fingers into your purse.
You mean Apna Peter? Please, not with all these people about. Besides, haven't you heard? He's no longer a local impoverished brat. Picked up a tidy sum, working in a call center, did his MBA, and now has landed a darn good position in a multinational. Some idiots have all the luck.
I'm not so sure of that. Can a leopard change its spots? Once a cotton picking down and out, always a cotton picking down and out. And if what you say is true, I bet he's developing airs and graces, thinking that he's of our social class.
What a wannabe. That dude always tries so hard. Look at him. Quite the center of conversation, isn't he? You know, I'm starting to feel poor Nash and Za are beginning to feel left and ignored.
They won't find that a new experience. What does he see in her? She thinks that she's of our social class, but she has no class if you ask me.
Exactly. But that goes to show Nash must be lacking in class too. I mean, passes over all the girls and us and latches on to her, mind you. What an ugly dame. What does he see in her? Look at that idiotic hairstyle. Looks as if she just got in the last monsoon, dried it on a towel and left it like that. Oh.
And in that dress, she looks like something the cat brought in and spat out. A bundle of kachra waiting for the guy.
Why, look, Lorraine, like tossing over to us. Why, Za? We were just talking about how lovely you look.
Oh, I'm sure you were.
Always talking in situations not needed. What a divine hairdo, Za. You know, you must tell us the name of your secret hairstylist so we can have a chance, to try it out.
You really like it? There's no big secret about that. My aunt did it up for me. Just plain love, untutored. And that's your secret formula.
It is lovely, but you'd look beautiful in any hairdo.
My, you really are the perfect couple, thank you.
Nash and I wanted to thank you, all of you, for coming to join in our wedding celebration.
Wouldn't have missed it for the world, Za.
Everyone from the gang's here. Asif is somewhere answering a call on his mobile. And I saw Johnny and Rafi here a while back. Wonder where they went. Weren't they chatting with you too? You know where they've gone?
Chasing the booze. What else? You know these guys.
We certainly do know these guys as good fun and full of life. They joke a lot, but never any malice or hurt in what they say.
I'm not so sure of
Doesn't
that.
matter. Right now, it's Nash and Za, and then it's a long-awaited nuptials of both of these, Peter and Sheila.
Yep, it's getting like the words of that old song. Those wedding bells are breaking that old gang of mine.
Breaking up? I don't think so. We all have kept in touch, not only at wedding and people occasions.
Folks, what say you all to picking up some food and drinks? Need to build up energy for the next round of dances, which are permanent and excellent MC announced. Will be a real fast session,
Why? Look, Sheila, it's a moment they're coming this way.
I'd say they were looking for Peter and you. Good evening, doctor. Good evening, ma'am.
Why all this solemnity, my friends? No need for doctor and ma'am. A simple uncle and auntie, as you do to other grown-ups. That will all do.
Yes, Ed and I have never stood on ceremony, have we?
Me and I, my wife and I, would like you young people for a small favor. Would you like us to take Peter and Sheila from you for a while?
Sure.
Peter, there is something that my wife and I would like you to ask you.
Why, of course, uncle.
As I was saying, we can have a brief session tomorrow at 6 p.m. Come over at 6 for a drink. And by the way, we can be off by 7.
Well, that's very nice of you both, uncle and auntie. But I'm afraid I have another session tomorrow. Maybe the next day or the day after.
Oh, I'm sure that's all right, isn't it, Ed?
Oh, sure. Then that's settled. Tuesday at 6 p.m.
Am I right in assuming that I'm expected to be there too?
Certainly, that goes without saying. Don't tell me you have a previous engagement. Tuesday at 6 p.m.
Fortunately not. Though you must admit that this is very short notice.
Good, then that's settled. Come, me.
I bet that summons has something to do with discussing our marriage plans.
I'm so sorry, Peter. Dad went out of his way to emphasize that you were not invited for dinner, just for drinks. He's actually quite sweet. It's just that he can get quite abrupt when it comes to questions of class.
It's okay, Sheila. I've come used to his ways. Besides, he was a military surgeon and is so used to issuing orders and having people jump to obey him.
I know. Sometimes my cheeky younger brother Sean jumps to attention and salutes him and says, "Yes, sir," whenever Dad orders him about too bossily.
Which reminds me, Sheila, I didn't really have anything planned for tomorrow. I just wanted your dad to understand that he simply can't issue someone a summons at a moment's notice and assume they'll be able to comply.
I think Dad's learning, Peter, but I still feel very hurt, ashamed, and mad when I remember the way he called you the son of an impoverished factory worker when you first asked for my hand in marriage.
I believe that still stands as a difference between us. Well, the caste-class system cuts across all religions and communities.
I was so impressed by the calm and confident way you replied to Dad. You said nothing rude and didn't lose your cool.
I've had a long training replying to things like that. All I did was, not if you remember,
As if I'd ever forget.
tell your dad that he was basically right. I was the son of an impoverished factory worker, but not ashamed of it one bit. I'm proud of both my parents. They never really got an education much beyond school. No college degrees, not even undergraduate. But they were honest and hardworking. They stinted themselves, scraped and saved to ensure that their only child, me, got a college education. That scholarship was a real necessity for me. And when Dad died in that accident, well, it was even more difficult for Mom, though his pension was there. She had to work as a house cleaner, and Aya, like your dad would say. That's why I had to work for 2 years in that call center to pay for my MBA. And now, with the godsend of a job placement, I can finally give a kind of restful end to her days. I just wish Dad was here too, to have enjoyed that with her.
You're a good son, Peter. Your parents...
Hey, you two lovebirds. Snap out of it. You can't go billing and cooing all day. Come down to earth sometimes, just like us lesser mortals, and get yourself a bite to eat. Not much of fresh air left in Pune these days.
Exactly. Get a load on some of this chicken stuff and pulao, or you won't have the dum to get to the altar, which we all hope will be sooner than later.
You're right, chaps. So, shall we go and feed the face?
Let's. Thanks for reminding us, boys.
So, sweetheart, now that we have done the good deed of our day, why don't we hog on this free stuff and blow on this free meal?
Out of my way, darling. I'm so absolutely hungry, I could eat a whole horse tail, hooves and all.
Ugh, don't be so gross. Ladies present.
The way you two go on, with your sweethearts and darlings, anyone who overheard you would think you were gay or something.
Hey, then all the ladies of Pune would assume they'd be safe with us.
And then wham,
Bam.
thank you, ma'am.
Honestly, you two, you're the limit.
So, what's your answer? Speak up. No need to be afraid.
It's not a question of fear, sir. I was just looking for the right words.
You mean you're quite tactful and diplomatic? There is no need, boy.
Please forgive my interrupting, Dad, but you know all the answers to the questions you've been asking. You, Mom, and I have gone over this.
It's difficult to forgive interruptions, Sheila. They are a matter of unmanliness and don't speak of a person's upbringing. Honestly, May, I can't understand this modern generation. They throw all convention to the winds. And after all the time and money we spent on educating this girl, she sometimes acts as if she comes for some common worker's talk.
Do be calm, Ed dear. Your blood pressure.
I will not be calm when values are at stake. If I told you once, I have told you 1,000 times, May. And the way you go on and about my blood pressure is to make everyone's blood pressure go up.
Dad, please. Why are you asking us questions whose answers you're already familiar with in exchanges with me about our marriage?
Sheila, my child, I just like to hear what Peter would put up with. There's nothing wrong with that. Look, Peter, let's talk man to man. I knew perfectly well, and I wasn't in favor of this relationship.
Yes, sir. And you also made it very clear to me why you were so.
Sheila, we only want the best for you.
Oh, Mom, that's what parents say before they hurt their children.
Oh, Sheila, what a horrid thing to say.
Confound it! Don't you start sniveling. Why can't you females carry bigger handkerchiefs? Since you know, you'll start bawling at the fall of a hat. Here, take this. Why can't you females carry bigger handkerchiefs? Since you know, you'll start bawling at the fall of a hat.
Mom, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean it like that. I mean, Peter is the best for me. I love him and he loves me.
There you go again. Talking like some foolish heroine in a Bollywood movie. You think that love is all that is needed for a marriage. Your husband has to give in the kind of lifestyle and the facilities you have been used to.
Dr. D'Souza, I may be the son of an impoverished factory worker, as you once said to me. And I'm proud of it, not ashamed of it one bit, as I once told you. But after finishing my post-graduation and having worked in that call center for 2 years, I now have the kind of job that anyone can envy. I don't mean to boast, but I'm quite capable of giving your daughter the kind of life she has known and enjoyed.
Oh, Peter, even if you couldn't have given me all these things, I wouldn't mind. It's only you that I love. Only you that gives me happiness. Not all these other things.
That's a very sweet thing to say, my girl. But don't you think...
Come, May, let's not take up all that again. Let's get back to the original question, which I just put to Peter. When you asked us for a daughter's hand in marriage, I was honest and straight with you. No beating about the bush. I said we did not approve. After all these years, our daughter would have the height, but she persists in her folly. So against my better judgment. Is it too much to ask of you? I have given in to her wishes. Is it too much to ask of you in return to decide the how and where of your wedding?
It's our wedding, so...
And what's so wrong with anything we could plan for you?
Look, sir, there's nothing wrong with what you have planned. I know you've told Sheila you're planning a very lavish and ostentatious wedding. But that's not what we want. We want something more personal, more meaningful. Of course, we are ready to talk things over with you both. But we'd like to have the final words on any plans for our wedding.
And that's your final plan?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Then don't expect any financial help from us.
We never asked for it, Dad. We're prepared to...
I'm sorry if this offends you, sir. And ma'am. But that's it. I'm sure we can continue.
Sean, is that the... how many times have I told you not to bang the door?
Oh, this is one of those meetings. I'd say you were discussing a funeral, but I bet you were actually planning a wedding. Sorry, I'll make myself scarce.
Sean, just where the dickens. Do you think where you're going?
Ouch, Dad.
Sean, if I told you once, I have told you 1,000 times, me. As you can see, you just, as well as you go out, as well as you just go in. Be more specific.
Well, I'm sorry, Dad, but at the moment, I can't be more specific. I had planned on going home and watching some TV. How was I to know you were having the father and mother of a family row?
This is not a family row.
Which you don't want my young and innocent ears to hear. So obligingly, I am going out.
Sean, we were simply ironing personal differences in an adult constructive fashion.
If this is how you handle your personal whatevers, give me the old schoolboy behind the box any day.
Sean, is that the way you speak to your mother? Look, Sean, we don't want to be hanging around, opening your big ears to eavesdrop on adult talk. You could just hold as well as you can just go in.
Dad, I just wanted to watch some TV. It's my turn. You promised.
What program were you planning to watch, dear?
That I'll do, my son. Do as you are told. Don't answer that question, my boy. There's something that my mom's better not know it.
Oh, let me just run over to Feroz's place. I'll watch it there.
Why don't you watch it in
Give me a ring when you're done with your mature adult whatever.
Why don't you go and watch it in Daddy's in my room?
That I'll do, my son. Do as you are told.
Okay. I'm going. But it's all unfair, I tell you. Just because I'm small and you're big, you gang up on me. Wait till I'm an adult like you.
Now, where we were before that tornado burst in?
With all due respect, Dad, I'd say Sean's entrance actually prevented a tornado from blowing up.
So you were saying, sir, that you wouldn't contribute anything to our married life?
I didn't say that, Peter. He merely said that we wouldn't help with any wedding expenses. Didn't you, Ed?
That's right. Sweep it under the carpet. Hold yourself from the problem of the present self to lose yourself into the future one. Let me seem the monster.
We can go into that conversation some other time, Ed. Right now, we have Peter and Sheila waiting for us to come to a conclusion on the matter at hand.
That's right. Sweep it under the carpet. Hold yourself from the problem of the present one to lose yourself into the future one.
If this is an inopportune moment, sir, I'm sure we can continue this dialogue some other time of your choosing.
No, sit down. Confound it. Now that we have begun this business, however disagreeable.
You were saying, in effect, sir, that since you backed a bit and gave your reluctant consent to the wedding, we should step back and let you decide everything about the wedding requirements.
Oh, why yes. Each side is to give in a little bit.
Oh, why not, sir? Each side gives in a bit. You haven't totally backed the wedding, and we won't totally lay down all the rules. We'll make some adjustments, talk things over with you both, but we'd like to have the final words on any plans. It's our wedding.
It's our weddings. We have agreed to the wedding, damn it.
Yes, sir, but not wholeheartedly. You still disagree of it.
Dad, Mom, let's leave it at that for our initial meeting. I and Peter have discussed this enough and are clear on what we want. I will give you both the basics later and then we can call in Peter. Both sides will make every effort to be good listeners and try to understand the other's point of view. In difficult moments, both parties will try to exercise common sense. How does it sound to you, Dad?
Like something just came out of United Nations, then how these resolutions tend to end up with.
I think it's a very sensible note on which to end this initial first meeting. Let's leave it at that. Work out the details later.
That's it. Hold your horses. I will not be steamrolled into any hasty decisions.
Nobody's steamrolling anyone, Dad. We've made no concrete decisions. Just agreed on some very general rules of procedure.
That's right. I just like to know how these concrete resolutions tend to end up with.
Meaning what, Dad?
Meaning, could you give an instance of some two or more some non-negotiables?
Well,
Something that you just put up your minds and won't change.
Well, sir, for one thing, we decide the best man or men. We decide that.
And the bridesmaids.
I see. I see. And who have these who have plumped up with?
For the best men, Avinash, Johnny, and Rafi.
But Avinash is already married.
It doesn't matter to us. He's one of the best men.
And Aritusa, his wife, will be one of the bridesmaids.
Oh, I thought only one of them is a Catholic.
Actually, none. Johnny is a Protestant, but not very practicing.
So, two non-Christians and one non-practicing Protestant as one of your best men. Peter, what kind of message are you giving us with that?
Simply that they are friends who mean a lot to me and have helped me and Sheila persevere over difficult times. That's what best men are about.
What about your brother, Sheila?
Sean? He said he'd rather not.
Oh, and why not?
He said that the best man is customarily stuck to one of the bridesmaids throughout the celebration. And he wants to be free to dance with other people of his choice at the reception.
Actually, I checked buying it, but it was very...
That boy is beginning. Too little to get too big for his nappies.
He'll do a reading or something.
Anything else on the non-negotiable menu?
Yes. Father Tom's to do a wedding.
I was thinking of Father Fernandez. He has been at school with me and has been a family friend for years.
So he'll be the ideal priest for your Jubilee Mass, Dad. But not for Peter and I. He hasn't been a part of our lives as Father Tom has been in the youth group. He's been our friend, philosopher, and guide ever since college.
Oh, you don't know what they say? I heard some strange things about him.
All lies and exaggerations.
You don't know what they say?
But we know Father Tom.
Whatever. Father Tom is another non-negotiable, and we don't want Father Fernandez to celebrate. Just Father Tom.
Come on, Ed. That'll do. You asked them for some concrete examples of non-negotiables. They gave them to you. Now let's give the children some time together. Let's go up to our room.
That's it. Throw me out of my own living room. Man slogs the whole day for his office and for his family. And when he comes home, he can't even relax in his own hall. Not even do I get privacy in our own bedroom. This Sean, watching this idiotic WWF stuff.
Come on, Ed. We'll send him somewhere else.
Not too bad a session after all, was it?
Not half as bad as I thought.
Sorry, folks. I was kicked out
Just give this mic.
again and told to watch TV down here. Where's the remote? I hope you don't mind.
Actually, we do. You know the old saying, two's company and three's a crowd?
Old hat. In school, we say two's company and three's the result.
The next generation. Compared to them, we'd be saints.
Bye for now, Sheila. See you tomorrow as planned.
How did you find this place, Sean?
Oh, well, that's easy. I was dropping my sister somewhere on her scooter. She lets me drive it sometimes. My mom would throw a fit if she knew. She asked me to take a slight turn off the way so she could show me where Peter lived.
Oh, so that's it. Well, have some tea.
Thank you. Mrs. Brown, please don't take it amiss that I just barged in at your doorstep without any prior notice. It's just that I had to talk to someone who was an adult, and you're the only one that came to mind. Except for my family, who treats me like I'm a baby and expects me to act like an adult. I mean, Sheila told me how she and Peter would come to you and how understanding you were. Even when they told you about the fights they used to have. You were such a fair and good listener.
Well, I wasn't like that always. Anyway, you're more than welcome, Sean. Come over any time you'd like to talk. I can assure you of a friendly listening ear. More than that, I'm not sure what I have to give. Sheila often mentioned you when she came over with Peter.
Must have said I was a troublesome little pest of a younger brother.
That too. But she spoke mostly about you being someone who was growing up too fast and needed a person who'd have more time to listen to.
Well, it's not just a question about time. I mean, Mom's home a lot, but Dad's out for work all the time. And I can't really talk to Mom because she's so used to seeing me as her little baby boy. I was born 7 years after Sheila and was quite fussed about. I enjoyed it at first, but Mom's been having some trouble seeing me as growing up, I guess. I'm still her sweet little baby boy. Yuck, that makes me sick. She won't really let me talk to them about anything serious. They're forever telling me to go do something serious while they have their mature adult talk. What about me? Don't my views count in this house? I wanted to scream at them. Am I just a table or something?
Sometimes we parents can be pretty insensitive, but with the best of intentions. I remember making the same mistake with Peter when he was in college. His father had recently met with that fatal accident. I was not used to having a heart-to-heart talk with him. That was his father's job and he did it well. In fact, I remember that day so clearly. He'd just come back from college and he was rather quiet. He wanted to tell me about Sheila, but there was I, nagging at him to have his tea and asking him if he wasn't well.
It's happened to me millions of times. I know what he must have felt like. So, how did you two manage to talk about it?
He finally burst out saying to the effect that he was wanting to share with me the most wonderful experience of his life. And there was I, going like he was a runny little brat whose boundaries were football and cups of tea. It's easy for us parents to make that mistake, and you'd probably do the same with your kids one day.
I can hardly imagine myself having kids and teaching them how to behave.
Oh, you will one day, Sean. Anyway, that's the reason why most young people end up talking to a friend's parent rather than their own. You see, there's little or no chance of being taken for granted for a kid. Parents have accompanied you through all your childish tantrums and things. I guess teenage is an awkward age for both parents and youngsters. Both sides have to make some radical adjustments. Anyway, what is it that you'd like to talk about, Sean?
Well, girls.
Well, why not? What could be more natural or mysterious, huh?
Yeah.
So, there's a girl you're interested in. You have a girlfriend, and you can't understand her way of acting?
Not quite. I just want to know what it's going to be like when it comes.
Could you try to be more specific, Sean?
Specific? That's what my dad's always asking me to be. Don't say I'm going out. Don't say to a friend's house. Be more specific. Okay, I'll be more specific. Or at least I'll try. It's something like this. I just want to know what it's going to be like when it comes to have a girlfriend, to be in love, as they say. Sometimes I just get the feeling that it'll all just be pansy and gooey and yucky, and it puts me off. Oh, my friends tell me that when it does happen, I won't mind it. But I can hardly imagine myself writing soppy letters filled with darlings and sweethearts. Yuck, that makes me sick. Do you understand what I'm trying to say, Mrs. Brown?
I think so, Sean. But if we're going to have just personal chats, you and I think you'd stop calling me Mrs. Brown. But that's too formal. I call you Sean, and I think it'd be more logical if you call me by my first name, Julie. But given our age difference, and that your sister, who's somewhat older than you, calls me auntie, maybe you should do too.
Sure.
Now, as to your question, well, there's a lot of sense in what your friends tell you. When it happens, it won't seem gooey or pansy or whatever words you used. True love, far from making you soppy or girlish, will bring out the real man in you. Nothing to feel ashamed of. It is only silly, it sounds silly to the people who stand outside the experience and make assumptions. At least, that's what I think sincerely.
You know, Mrs. Brown, why I can't talk to Mom about all of this stuff. She'd probably squeal with laughter and launch into her usual, "Oh, Sean, darling, don't try to grow up too fast." And she'll change the subject and ask how my last football match went or something like that.
Be patient with your parents, Sean. They need to realize that you aren't a kid anymore. Like I said, teenage is an awkward age for both parents and youngsters. Very often we end up treating you like a kid and demanding that you behave like adults. Both sides have to make some adjustments. And mostly we get it right. But after several mistakes, like I said, it was the same for me and Peter.
So how did you two manage to get over it? I mean, from what Sheila tells me, you and Peter seem to get along swimmingly now.
Maybe Peter spoke with someone else's parents. I don't know. I never asked him. But that day, when he wanted to tell me about your sister, he got mad at my way of acting and told me straight and to the point to stop treating him like a little kid. I'm trying to share with you the most wonderful experience of my life, and you treat me like a runny-nosed little brat whose world is bordered by cups of tea and catching cold, he said. Oh, something like that. And it hit me like a thunderbolt. He was on the verge of adult manhood. I could no longer treat him as my helpless little boy. It was, well, scary.
Maybe it kind of helped that the two of you only had each other.
Could be. When Paul was there, that's Peter's dad, the two of them spent a lot of time together. He spent a lot of time with his son, teaching him to fly kites, taking him fishing, and so on. And during those times, they spent lots of time talking. Then there was that accident. Peter was about 10. I tried not to fall apart for his sake. I tried to be both father and mother to him so that he wouldn't feel at a disadvantage with other kids. I guess I got fixated on protecting him as if he was someone helpless and incapable of looking after himself.
I guess it wasn't easy for the both of you. It took time, kind of.
Oh, sure it did. But Peter pulled his weight too. He slogged away at his studies and his job, and that made a man of him real fast. That, coupled with his relationship with your sister, I see what a beautiful, what a maturing effect it had on him. Suddenly, I realized how big and strong he was. And it was me who was turning to him for help and support. Anyway, we're talking too much about me, and that's not why you came here.
Maybe not. But what you're trying to say is helping me see myself a little better, I guess. All the things going on inside of me. I guess my basic problem when you get down to it is that I'm scared of girls. Now that sort of thing seems abnormal to me or something.
Not at all. It's like entering into a new, strange world where you've never been before. It's the great adventure of growing up. It involves insecurity, clumsiness, misunderstandings, and heartaches on all sides. But when it is all over, you'd look back and see that it was well worth its price.
Was it the same for you and Peter's dad?
Oh, absolutely, Sean. We had a good laugh when we talked about it later. How nervous and awkward we'd feel in each other's company and wanted the meeting to get over soon. And then spend the time apart, counting the hours and seconds till we'd meet again. Paul told me how he'd hesitate outside my door, torn between the urge to knock and to run away. Yes, those were the days. The first phase of our relationship, before commitments were made, yet each one knowing in his or her heart that it was easily understood. Est didn't want to bring up the subject, lest one of us should face a rejection. And then, that day, that moment, we had to say it to each other. I remember the entire setting. It was a Saturday in July, and it had just rained like mad, and we were sitting in and talking. Oh!
Why, look who's here.
Sean, what are you doing here?
I thought you were going to Lanavla.
That was the plan, but there was a derailment in the ghats. All the trains were either sent back or cancelled. You'll read about it in tomorrow's papers.
So that's it. You wanted this visit to be a secret. Why on earth?
It's okay. I told him he's more than welcome. He just wanted to talk.
About what?
Let it be our little secret, Sean. It's something personal. Today's the first day he came by, and I sincerely hope it won't be the last.
Oh, no, of course not, Mrs. Auntie.
Mrs. Auntie. Now that's a new one on me.
Shut up, Sheila. You don't know everything. I think I'll go now. Bye, Peter. Bye, Sheila. Thank you, Auntie. I feel much happier now.
Thank you, Sean. You revived old memories and made me happier too. God bless you.
Now, what was that all about?
I don't know, and I don't think we need to know, you and I, Sheila. Looks like young Sean has found himself a listening and caring ear, and I don't think he could have made a better choice. It must have been your fault, Sheila, acting as an unintended publicity agent for Mom. Must have told Sean what a wonderful listener and guide she is.
You're right, Peter. I've done precisely that. But I just can't imagine my dumb kid brother having serious problems to talk about.
You must all stop seeing Sean as your dumb kid brother. He's growing up. Give him some acceptance. Let him be a part of your adult fun and games.
Oh, Mom, I've always said you are one of the best moms in the world. Perhaps the best.
Thank you, Peter.
This is Sandra from Bandra, my cousin who's come down for this occasion. Some of you know her.
Hi, Sandra.
My parents have produced me solely to get married to Arathusa.
My parents have produced me solely for getting engaged to Avinash.
And so, let us sing happy birthday or congratulations.
Congratulations. The happy birthday. Tunes and words are also idiotic.
But those are the words which we all really know.
Oh, let's just sing and get through with it so we can all enjoy the party.
Right. But only just one verse, please. That's more than enough.
Okay now, idiotic choir. You know what to do. Now 1, 2, 3.
Happy
Yeah, yippee, yippee, yeah. Yeah, yippee, yippee, yeah. Yeah, yippee, yippee, yeah. Yippee, yippee, yeah. Yippee, yippee, yeah.
One verse only. I knew this would happen.
It sounds like a disorganized cats concert.
Ignore us, you two. Just cut the cake.
Lorraine, did you notice Loverboy Peter making goo-goo eyes at his old heartthrob ex-chick Sandra from Bandra? The faithful cousin couldn't make it to the wedding for whatsoever reason, and now she's here for the birthday party, acting as innocent and unsullied as ever.
I think that story is over, Meena. They might have had an hectic affair once, but that's over and done with. Now, he only has the hots for his precious little Sheila. Either seen the light or had a glimpse at her father's bank account.
What else is there in Sheila? I mean, that's the only reason Peter must have looked at her. Same goes with Sheila too. I mean, what does she even see in Peter? That guy has no looks, no confidence, and ego the size of a tennis ball. Which goes to show, Peter must have made a pile or two from his stint at that call center. I mean, he keeps claiming he moved himself and his eternal poor widowed mom to a better society, put himself through an MBA and whatever, and now has got a good job with a multinational. I don't know how this bugger even makes money.
I guess we can no longer consider him a local factory worker's son. I bet he's developing airs and graces, thinking that he's of our social class.
You know that low-class wannabe. Enough about him. But did you notice that old Sandra from Bandra look right through us when she saw us? Scares me, that dame does.
She's so used to having her way with guys. How mad she'll be when she thinks that we're trying to manipulate her. How mad she got when she thinks we're trying to make an even bigger fool out of Peter.
Ah, Sandra. Our promiscuous, provocative brat. Always chasing men like candy. And when she doesn't get what she wants, she paints us as manipulative. Which goes to show, I don't think Peter has gotten quite over his fling with that Bombay chick. I mean, all she has to do is give a classic, provocative, come hither look, and he'll be galloping after her like salmon in the spawning season.
That's a mixed metaphor. Wanna bet? I think the whole experience has shaken him up a bit. Sheila and his friends forgave him, and then he underwent a real conversion of mind and heart.
Do you honestly believe that? I don't think any therapy in the world can fix Sandra or Peter for that matter. Well, why not put him to the test?
Ooh, now that's a plot hatching in that naughty little brain of yours, isn't it, Meena?
You know it is. It's like doing Sheila a favor. Plus, Peter's always so snooty and egotistical with us. It gives ourselves to make a chance to make the local hero squirm. If he passes the test, all praise to him. He'll be the same how he is. But if he doesn't, only we'll know.
So should we tell Sheila or not? Either way, why hurt her? We can give Peter the heebie-jeebies, and then to whom we're going to spill the beans. No more riding the high horse and acting snooty with us. Meena, you're a genius.
I know. Take my autograph later. But we do have to fine-tune our plans a little bit. Oh, Lord.
So looks like you two have gone together to do something dirty once again.
Oh, no.
So you're just having a little chat about the weather.
Kind of.
Not really.
Here we go again. Whatever your sordid little plan is, I trust have nothing to do with it.
Oh, no.
No sordid little plans?
Oh, no.
When I hear both of you speaking in such unison, I'm quite sure you're telling lies. You better go your way and I'll go mine. Oh, I'm so sorry. Clumsy of me.
That's quite okay. Girls have done far worse things to me.
I'm Sandra.
And I'm Jerry.
The Jerry, Sheila's cousin.
Guilty as charged. And you're the Sandra from Bandra, Nash's cousin.
In flesh. I hope I didn't ruin your show.
Such delicate cambric things are not for getting whiskey and soda all over them. Men's hankies are for that sort of thing.
I know what you meant when you said that girls have done much worse things to you than just to spill a drink over your shirt.
Oh yes, that's common knowledge. My cousin Sheila, who was supposed to marry me, ditched me for Peter.
The same thing happened with me. I know how you feel. Birds of a feather, you know, you and me.
Well, instead of just flocking together, why don't we do a bit of dancing together?
Don't mind if I do.
Yo, Johnny. Do something to earn your supper. Or just take care of the DJ MC drink while I dance a few steps with this lovely lady.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep back, keep back. You can see it on grisly detail in slow motion on your TV sets tonight.
Lady, did he ask you, or were you the one to take the initiative? If you must know, I asked in proper chivalrous fashion.
In that case, he has better taste than you, lady.
Okay, you two made your point. Now get lost and let us dance together. Awesome.
Nash, I'm worried. Looks like Sandra has now picked up Jerry.
Don't worry. Sandra's a changed person. She went for counseling. She has changed. And anyways, Jerry does not fit into our traditional victim profile. He has no current girlfriend. Like her, he's very much single.
But he's vulnerable, Nash. He's carrying a lot of hurt in him.
So is she. Trust me, I know that. But don't worry. I'll keep an eye on them. For now, let's go and check on the food scene.
But Jerry and Sandra, you think this could be it?
I sincerely hope so, for both their sakes. But let's not jump to the conclusions too fast.
There we go. Matchmaking again. The favorite sport of our old gang. Ever since we started to click with each other.
Well, but they're both lonely.
I know about that horrible thing she had going on in Twitter. Nearly broke your heart, and you, his best friend, came to blows with him over it.
Well, it is unusual to see Jerry, our eternal DJ MC, to dance at a party so much and have fun with a girl so much. Maybe we're just a bunch of uncontrollable romantics if you ask me.
Folks, since your friendly eternal DJ is otherwise occupied,
Don't be mean, Nash.
couldn't help it. Let me announce that food has been served. Dancing will resume when you have enough energy to come back on the floor with a vengeance.
Can I get you guys something else?
Nothing, love. You just get yourself ready for work. I'll be with Sean for another half an hour.
I'm really very sorry, Nash. I seem to have developed the habit of inviting myself to other people's houses early in the morning.
Come on, Sean. For me and Zaya, family. When you called up last night, I suggested this morning. I leave for work at 9. And when I come back half by 6 this evening, I'll suggest work on your composition.
Thank you, Nash, really, for making the time. Oh, also, I really enjoyed your party the other day. I finally felt like I was a part of something, you know?
A pleasure for both of us to have had you over. Should have done this earlier. Well, it was a sister's initiative to have invited you. Since like you were no more a kid or something like that.
I think I know where she got that idea.
Where?
Tell you later, not enough time now. Nash, you're like a wizard with songs and music.
Well, that's been my hobby, my abiding interest, my avocation. Ever since my lad says, I don't know. So, you have some poem or something that I have to put music to?
Yeah, just some random thoughts, I guess. Sorry, wrong note. Tell you about it later, one thing at a time, you know. Yeah. Please don't laugh at it, Nash.
Nothing could be from my mind, Sean. Say, this is pretty good. I didn't know you were a poet, Sean.
Neither did I. The words just came to me, I guess.
So, have you met her? This girl?
No, that's why she's the girl I'm waiting for. I mean, I met loads of girls in college and all about town. They're good friends and okay at best. But nothing's really happened, you know. No sparks or whatever. Actually, I don't really know what's supposed to happen. But I know that it has not happened yet.
When it happens, you'll know for sure. The girl that you're going to sing this poem to is going to be a really lucky female one day.
Sing! Not on your life. I can't sing.
You didn't know you were a poet until you wrote these words. Maybe you'll meet someone one day and discover you're a singer too. Love does beautiful things to people, Sean.
I bet you know that from experience.
I do. So how's with things getting ready for work?
Just finished my bath. Don't forget to give me a kiss before you leave for work.
I don't need a reminder for that one.
Here, Nash, tell me what you think of this.
Hi, gorgeous hunk. If still interested, meet me in Empress Gardens at 9:30 a.m. sharp on Friday. That's today in about 2 hours time. Just enter the main gate and keep walking straight down the alley. I'll be waiting, of course. If you're chicken, you're silent admirer. Where did you get this from?
Oh, Meena and Lorraine gave it to me. They were standing outside my college gate when I came. They asked me to give it to Peter, but begged me not to say how I got it. Well, I'd heard a few things about them, so I opened the envelope and I read it. I know one's not supposed to do that sort of thing, but I thought it'd be okay this time.
Good show, Sean. I think you did the right thing. So, Meena and Lorraine gave you this note, but they didn't say who sent it, right?
Yeah, it's either that or the whole thing's Sandra.
No. I don't think so. Not after the long chat she had with Jerry after the party. She left early this morning. I think to meet Jerry. So Meena and Lorraine didn't tell you who was supposed to send this anonymous note?
No. When I asked them, they giggled and said Peter'll know. I decided not to give it to Sheila either. She told me last night that Peter had to be at work early this morning to set up a seminar or something. So I decided to go to Empress Gardens myself and see who'd turn up.
Don't you have to go to college?
Yes,
Wait.
I do.
I'll get hold of Peter. Let's see who enters the main gate. I'll phone up and take a half day from work. Let's go, Sean.
Okay.
Bye, love.
Bye.
Explain later.
Oh, Za, something terrible has happened.
What? Why don't you sit and tell me? What is it, Sheila?
Where's Nash?
Left some time ago with Sean. Why?
Oh, he's with Nash then? Oh, thank God.
Of course, Sean's okay. He's been here since 7:30 this morning. He called up Nash and said he wanted to see him. Nash suggested that he would be likely late to return home from work. Sean wanted Nash to compose music for some poem he had written.
Oh, Za, I found a horrible note in Sean's pockets last night. He had gone to bed as usual, with his clothes thrown about on the floor. I was picking them up when this note fell out of his pant pocket. I read it.
Go on, what did it say?
It was a note from some female silent admirer, it said. It referred to him as a hunk and asked him to meet her if interested in Empress Gardens. I didn't dare tell Mom and Dad. I intended to question Sean about it this morning, but Mom said that he had left at about 7. Said that he was to meet Nash. I thought he was out with this bimbo. After all the times that we've treated Sean like a kid, this must have finally made him feel like he was a real adult. And Za, he's only 16. If Sandra could have let Peter astray, she could get Sean to...
Relax, Sheila. We'll rush down to the Empress Garden and wait and see who turns up. I'll phone and take half day from work.
I've taken a casual leave. You don't think it's Sandra?
Well, a week ago, I might have thought so. But not after the party, Sheila. She had a very long chat with Nash and me. She's a changed person now. She went for counseling in Bombay and now she's with Jerry. Before this, she could latch onto someone who's already been enjoying a relationship. Jerry's been a friendly local bachelor boy for quite a bit of time. We are banking on this working out between the two. Lonely hearts together. That's the dream, the hope, the wish.
Where's Sandra? Doesn't she stay with you?
Sure, in the spare bedroom. Left some time ago. Said she was meeting Jerry.
Oh, Za, I so much want to believe you, and I do hope I'm wrong. But Sean also left the house early this morning, and this is beginning to sound like too much of a coincidence.
So let's grab Rick. It will barely take us 5 to 10 minutes. When we get there, it will be 9:10.
I've called Johnny and Rafi to be there too. Kind of good to have some guys among us. One never knows.
Good thinking, Sheila. Both Peter and Nash will be at work, and we don't want to trouble the unnecessary besides. Nash was such in a hurry this morning, he forgot his mobile. So let's go.
Plenty of time. All we have to do is choose a nice hiding spot for a grandstand view.
Will Peter come or not? Ooh, you say yes and I'll say no. Loser stands a winner to an ice cream.
Cool. So we watch Peter wait and laugh our heads off. Do we jump out of a cover and say, surprise, surprise, we've caught you?
I've got a better idea. Why don't we just watch what he does and tell him we know where you were on Friday the 10th at 9:30 a.m. and why you were there.
Aha, and then we add, don't worry, old horse, we ain't telling anyone. At least yet.
Ooh, that'll get him groveling. Quick, let's hide.
What are they doing here? How did they get into the act?
Best keep our heads low or they'll begin to wonder what we're doing here.
So far, we seem to be the only ones around here.
Good. Now let's find a good place and see who's the bimbo to turn up.
From all you told me in the rickshaw about Sandra and Jerry, as well as the long talk she had with you and Nash, I can't imagine it to be her.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see.
Peter? What's he doing here? I thought he was at work.
I thought Nash was at work. Anyway, don't worry, Sean is with them.
Shh, let's watch what they're up to.
Peter came, I won.
You didn't. The idea was that he should have come alone.
That wasn't part of the contract, Lorraine. You're a bad sport.
Shut up, you ass. They'll hear you.
Did you hear something?
I thought I heard someone call someone an ass.
Well, there's no one here but ourselves. I think it's best if we hide and see who comes until 9:30. Still some minutes left.
Oh my goodness, Lorraine. This place is beginning to look like a fish market. The world and his wife seems to be gathering in Empress Gardens today.
What are they doing here?
God knows.
Better keep our heads low.
Should we call out to them?
No, someone may see us. They'll know what to do.
How did they get into this?
Goodness knows. Let's watch and find out.
None of us told them anything.
Quick, keep back.
It's almost time. There's no one here.
Either that or they've hidden themselves.
In which case, we better follow the example or we'll be seen. And we'll never know who Sean's bimbo is.
Yes? I could have sworn someone called me. Must have been my imagination. Anyway, I can wait.
What are you doing here? What are you doing here? I thought you had come to meet him.
Who? Me?
What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
I came to meet Sandra. We always meet here before I go to work at the bishop's house at 10:30.
That's why I'm here. But you haven't told Jerry and me.
What are you doing here? I'm the park keeper, picking up the garbage and I found it in the bushes.
Shh, get lost.
We're looking for handkerchief. I dropped it.
We dropped it somewhere over here. It's
Yeah.
here only.
Drop it. When did you drop it?
Then when you
How
dropped
does it look like?
It's pink actually.
A handkerchief? A likely story. Now I'd like the truth and nothing but the truth. Even if that word caused you a heart failure.
They gave me that note. I was supposed to give it to Peter.
Who? Me?
For Peter? I thought it was for Sean.
Who? Me?
And for one horrible moment, I thought that note was from Sandra. Who, me?
I have the note. Hi, gorgeous hunk. If still interested, meet me in Empress Gardens at 9:30 a.m. sharp on Friday. Just enter the main gate and keep walking straight down the alley. I'll be waiting, of course. If you're chicken, you're silent admirer. It's certainly written in such a way to point it towards Sandra.
Okay, which one of you wrote it and why?
Look, we meant no harm. Honestly, it was a joke.
We were just trying to help Sheila.
Who, me?
Yes, it was to test Peter.
Who? Me?
Look, we had a bet on whether Peter had gotten over his crush with that Bombay chick or not.
Who, me?
We wanted to see how firm his commitment to Sheila was, whether rushing to Empress Garden to meet Sandra or not.
And when I found that note in Sean's pockets, I thought it had been meant originally for him.
You went through my pockets?
When I was picking after you like I usually do, I found the note. It fell out of your pant pocket, so I read it.
How could you read a note originally meant for me?
Get off your high horse, Sean. You opened and read a letter addressed to Peter.
As it all turned out, it was good you did what you did. Read someone else's letter, I mean.
And I had someone standing for me at work to get into this wild goose chase.
And I took a half day from work to follow this up.
And Sheila and I both bunked work. We wanted to find which bimbo was angling with poor Sean.
And he, just a kid of 16.
When will you guys get the message? I am not a kid. I can look after myself.
And Rafi and I missed out on an outplan session at Foodland.
Exactly. You were supposed to start work this afternoon.
Well, at least you did somebody some good. Turning up to your new job smelling of beer is decidedly not a good first impression to make on your new boss. You managed to do some good, in spite of yourselves.
Oh, they have done much more than just that. They have got Jerry and me together.
That's right. It was Sandra's overhearing their initial plans that led her into me and pouring the whiskey all over my nice new shirt.
Well, in that...
And the rest is history.
In that case, I'd say both of you have done something worthy of the Nobel Prize for Peace.
3 cheers for Meena and Lorraine.
If you've been instrumental, even to a small extent, to find my beloved cousin, the partner in life he so much deserves.
And if you've been instrumental on setting my cousin on the path of new life of love.
And you have, whether intended it or not.
Well, I hope you let this sort of thing happen a bit more intentionally in your life.
Meena and Lorraine, you've done what Nash and I have always dreamt of seeing. Our two cousins happily settled down.
Only we never imagined it could be to each other.
You know, I was thinking, how about being bridesmaids for our wedding along with Harithusa?
Us?
You'd be the perfect partners for Johnny and Rafi, the best man along with Nash.
This is so amazing.
Oh, Sheila.
How wonderful.
Sunshine after the rain. I don't know what it is. I guess you know just what to say. Or that you know when not to say anything at all. Seem to know a lot about what I should do. They sure have a lot to say, and none of it seems to go my way. want to be with the one who'll be by my side and help me make sense of it all. But it's all in my head. I wish it was real. It's just my imagination taking the wheel. But it's all in my head. It's something my heart wants to feel. It's a daydream that I wish was real. And why must I be spectating a play in which I wish I could be? Will the world ever see me as more than a child, as what I want to be? Oh, it's all in my head. I wish it was real. It's just my imagination taking the wheel. Oh, it's all in my head. It's something my heart wants to feel. It's a daydream that I wish was real.
We would like to announce the production team of this play.
The producer, Brother Rahul.
Brochure and design, Royston Cardozo and Khush Mehta.
Sets and decor, Sara Peerbhoy.
Dance choreography, Godeva Cardozo.
Sound and vocalist, Leander Jacob.
Accounts, Dr. Sadaf Peerbhoy.
Stage management, Candice Pandit.
Publicity, Khush Mehta.
Passes, Krish Lakhwani.
Costumes, Joanna Fernandez.
Makeup, Godeva Cardozo and Sara Peerbhoy.
Prompters, Candice Pandit and Sadaf Peerbhoy. And last but not least, our beloved writer and director, Father Cyril Desbruslais.
I would like to say something, but I will use my friend Sarah as an interpreter.
He wants to say something. He wants to say something and he will use me as an interpreter because he cannot speak English.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want to thank the entire cast of this famous play for tolerating me at my speech defect and has tried their best to correct them for the play.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want to thank the entire cast of my favorite play for tolerating me with my speech defect as I tried my best to direct them for this play.
I want to thank you, the audience, and the past members of the SSU, especially Candace and the troop with Muniro and Bello philosophy who helped me in more ways and being buttons.
I want to thank the past members of the SSU and you, the audience, and the past members, especially Candice and the troop, headed by Munira and Bilal Qazi, who helped in more ways than you can imagine.
I want to thank the producer of the play, Rahul Ramsey. He volunteers to take out of the SSU when God calls me to heaven.
I want to thank the producer for their play, Rahul Ranshu, who volunteered to take charge of the SSU when God calls me home.